Hi, everybody. This is Jeffrey from Ripe Color and Lisa from Spirit Intuitive Tarot. My guest for Tarot Tuesdays. Yay!
Yay!
So Tarot Tuesdays, this week's card.
We look like a couple of Muppets
This
just
is the
then.
magic card. You ready?
Right.
Okay. Ooh, Justice.
Justice.
Card 11. Very interesting. Card 11 in the deck. So now, before we begin, why don't you tell us about your channel and what you do and what you offer and like maybe regular little series or whatever that you have.
Okay, well, one thing that I do is a whole Sunday thing. On Sundays, it's every other Sunday I do the Dream Team, and I actually do that with Freebird Spirit, Debbie. And what we do is the Dream Team is not just me and Debbie, it's actually everybody collectively, including the chat. And people will, in the chat, bring up any kind of dreams they've ever had that are either recurring dreams or, just anything. It could be a dream from way back that just really kind of resonates with them. And, or it could be something that was last night. And then we, as a group, kind of analyze and break it down, throw cards on it. It's a lot of fun. It is.
That's cool.
And then opposite of those Sundays is Lisa Live at 5. And that's more or less not even.
That's because you always wanted to be a television broadcaster, didn't you?
Is that what that is?
Oh, there's a big storm coming in live at 5.
I'm gonna start doing the weather, right?
Right.
But the thing is, we really don't do many readings. We just joke around. It's just a really casual, it's almost an offset to all the political stuff.
Right.
It's a place where everybody can hang out and check in with each other and chat, see how everybody's been doing. And we joke around, we sing, we tell jokes and act stupid, and it's just a lot of fun. And then also on Fridays, every other Friday, I do Can You Sing It? And that is an actual thing. That's with Sonia Rain Lee, who also is one of the Soul Sisters. And we have a mystery guest that we choose for each other, a partner. So when we go live, we don't know who we've chosen for each other. And that's part of the game. And in the chat, they'll put in just one word of either a lyric or a song title.
Oh, a musical.
Yeah,
so
like somebody put in.
And you would say, what did they used to call him? When he was really young, there was an adjective.
Oh gosh, I can't think. Right? Yeah, I know what you're saying though. But they would totally like they would.
Well, they used to call him Little Stevie Wonder, but there was something else. There was another word.
There was something else, yeah. But they could put in a word like
chopsticks. That was
but it's got to be part. Oh yeah, you're right. That is what that is. But yeah, they can put a word like rolling. It's like, okay, you got to come up with a song in 12 seconds that either has rolling in the title or it's in the lyrics somewhere.
Or it's by the
Rolling Stone or something, Yeah. So it's just fun. And I've had other, you should come on there too.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, because
I would let, what? And I'm going
my favorite game show was The Price is Right. I used to love The Price is Right because everyone got so excited. That was the best part.
They would get so excited, they'd wipe out going up to the stage, which is the best, right?
But whenever we watched Name That Tune, it was like, you could play the whole song and it's like, I still don't know what it's called. I know every word, but I don't know what it's called.
Well, look, what are you doing? I'm putting you on the spot here. What are you doing Friday? Because I need a guest for. You do anything Friday at?
Do I have to learn an instrument before that?
No, it's really easy. You will be Sonia's partner, but it's a secret. But I know if anybody's watching this. But hey, I'm going to live on the edge here. You want to? I'll tell you what.
Está secreto.
No secreto. Look at you teaching me things.
Secreto.
Secreto.
Sí.
Secreto. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you think about that because I think
the answer is yes. I'll come. Whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll send you the link.
I was going to say, a qué hora? What time?
What time? A qué hora?
At what time? A
At what
qué
time?
hora?
A
At what
qué
time?
hora?
At
I
the
believe
hour,
it is
basically.
6 p.m. Eastern.
So, whatever, that's, yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm in
Yeah.
Central. I get confused. I always mess it up.
Central is would be 5.
5 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
Sin problema.
Okay.
And then, so, okay, let's talk about the car.
Okay. Sorry. I knew this was going to happen.
No, but it's really fascinating when you started talking about the dream. I did a full moon in Capricorn reading that's up on my site.
Mhm.
I tried to record it 3 or 4 times. Nothing was working. My computer is a little on a blink. First, it wouldn't record. Then there was no sound. I did it outside. It was flying everywhere. And it was like, no. I took a nap and I had a lucid dream. I don't know if I've ever had a lucid dream.
Dude, that's my thing.
I had a lucid dream, and it was really about, like, the whole energy of it was really interesting. I was in New York and I went to go buy something at a store that's like in my dream life, but it was closed down, and it was sort of a sketchy, weird. It was sort of like a mall, like one of those mallettes, like a
Yeah.
crappy one. And it was kind of sketchy. And I wanted to go buy something, and the place was closed. And I asked some sketchy, weird people in the dream. I go, "What's the deal?" And they were like, "Oh, it's closed," And I was like, "Okay, you got to get out of here." So I leave, and then I'm in the village in Manhattan, which is really the oldest part of the city. So it has this, it's almost like revolutionary time sort of energy there, because a lot of old buildings, like from the 1800s. I mean, not revolutionary, but old.
Yeah.
And it's cobblestoney and all that. It's very quaint. It's the village.
Mhm.
But anyway, they'd redone it in like bricks to make it smooth. And it was almost like, okay, I have my own interpretation. Anyway, but it was very desolate.
Mhm.
And then, which that didn't bother me. I like desolate places. Scorpio. And then I had to get back to my apartment here in my dream, but I'm aware that I'm dreaming. And,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, well, what train do I have to take? I always have to figure that out. And then I'm like, you can't get from New York to Mexico City by train. And like the whole energy was, and that's what ended up being the message for the week, for the full moon, is you can't be there and here at the same time. You can't live in the past. You can't live in the place emotionally, physically, etc., financially,
Right.
sexually, that you did in the past and expect to like make something in this reality now. You have to
Yeah.
be in the here and now. And it's like,
Absolutely.
and it
You
was
got to be
almost like this
present.
energy of like, you have to ground into living in Mexico City and let go of, oh, I had an apartment in New York. Maybe I'm going to go back. I'm not going back.
What you are saying is exactly a lot of what we do on the dream team.
Right.
It's just
Right.
breaking it down like
Yeah,
that.
it was fascinating. And that ended up being really the message of the reading. Because that's for me, this is how I get messages, especially when I do the weekly, or when I do the weekly. I also, by members, I do weeklies. I divide it 12 ways.
Yeah.
So like something will be going on with me in the moment, and I'm about to read Aries or whoever, and it's like, what's the message there? And there's a message there for Aries that comes through. It's really weird.
That's wild.
It's like I become the vessel for it, and it's happening in me, in my own life. And then,
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love that you recognize that. You're
recognizing. You know
recognizing.
what? It just sort of, how like you're in the middle of something. It's like, well, this works. So it's like, okay, well, if it works, I'm just going to use it, right?
Absolutely.
It says you're supposed to cut up the onion, first, and it's like, yeah, but I always start with the peppers, and the peppers seem to work like, that's my little. That like there's a million ways to skin a cat kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So that's how I skin the cat.
There you go.
Okay. Now let's finally get to the justice card.
All right. The justice
still
card.
Here.
There we go.
Okay. So why don't you tell me about your experience and your interpretation of justice?
I'll tell you what. I didn't tell you this yet. I'm super excited that you chose me to do the justice card because I'm a Libra.
It's so weird.
So it fit perfectly.
Weird. Everyone is like the perfect one. It's so weird.
Yeah, I waited to say this when we were recording, but yeah, when you said justice, I was like, oh, this has to happen. Yeah.
Okay.
And not just for me to say that, but just to kind of hear what your interpretation is. I'm
Okay.
interested to know how you feel about it,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I think that's very interesting to me.
yeah.
Yes, I am all about the justice card, and I'm all about justice. I've recently learned I have 4 planets in Libra, so I'm like quite the Libra.
Yeah, very
But
well.
I'm also on the cusp, so I have some Scorpio in there too, which
Okay.
is I think is cool too, and that's probably why we get along. I think we get each other. I kind of feel that way. But yeah, the justice card, when I'm doing a reading for someone, like anything, when you're doing a reading, it is about the context. It depends on the question, it depends on what you're feeling through spirit and all of that. Sometimes it's just balance. It's prioritizing things in your life. If it's a love reading, it could totally mean something more along the lines of taking a little self inventory prior to entering a relationship, is what I get off of that. If I'm doing yes or no's, it's a yes for me.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it's a yes card.
It's a definite, yeah. Because some cards are like,
Yeah,
it's a yes.
that's a solid yes for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you're not familiar with tarot and you get the justice card, you're just kind of learning. The first thought is that it's all totally legal stuff, which it can be totally. And I do political readings on. I don't really do a whole lot of political readings on my channel, but I do several on other channels regularly. So if I get the justice card, it does go along the lines of legalities. But even then, sometimes it's not so much that. It's about that balance. It's about fairness. It's about really understanding the big picture of things. If Now, I do have a tendency to read and shuffle upright all the time. I don't do the reversals, but if I feel reversals, then I'll just say the opposite. So, if there's injustice, that kind of stuff. But and also just I don't know a whole lot about numerology, but I do know that, with it being 11, that's a master number. And that can totally be spirituality and things like that, So I've done that before in a reading.
Even, 11 could also just be balance.
Totally.
Just as simple as that. It's just as simple as balance. It's just as simple as the yin yang.
Yes.
It's almost like the two, with the cups.
Yes.
It's equanimity. Right.
The 2 of Cups,
I offer you and you offer me.
Pentacles. I mean, sometimes with all those, I will do the balance thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what do you get off of that?
Well, it's interesting. So it is the card of Libra, and I always do also read the cards as their sign, right? And so that energy of Libra, who's ruled by Venus, it's like, I want everything to be calm. I want everything to be tranquil. I want everything to be the best for all involved. There's that energy of that. There's that real energy of the best for all involved. So sometimes it's as if, I have a legal thing against somebody and I'm suing them for $50,000 and I probably overshot, right? I win the case, but I get 20. It's kind of like, you know what? You didn't have to break them completely.
Right. Right. Yes.
Because
exactly.
That's right. That's to me the balance of best for all involved. The other thing about justice is that it's illuminated by spirit. It is illuminated by spirit. It's as simple as that. I mean, like the card is just screaming, I am illuminated by spirit. Like, the energy of the Godhead makes everything clear.
Yes.
Right. And focused. So there's an energy of focus here too. And there's also an energy of how can I bring this into balance? Right. And also you're talking about legality. It could also really easily be a marriage card.
Oh, totally.
This is definitely one of the marriage cards. I'm
It
entering
totally.
into a contract.
Hmm.
You're entering into a contract, right? Especially if other contract cards come in. If the Hierophant comes in, which is also Venus, or if the like Judgment can come in, if other ones that are, legal, any of the other
I think it's interesting you're saying that, because I will, I know that all of the cards have their specific meaning and stuff, but
right.
I can totally cross-reference the cards.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's almost like they back each other up.
Right.
Right.
They really
Sometimes
do.
they
They
back each
support
other
each
up.
other.
Right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll do a reading for somebody. In fact, I was doing a reading for somebody that I think it was today. I did a few readings and I was I usually do like 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And it was like this X of like intuitive. It's like, you really need to pay attention. I didn't get just one intuitive card. I got like a lot of them.
Yes.
The other thing that, because it's, I don't know, for me, I always think of this card, I don't even think of it as justice. I think of it as divine justice. To me, this is divine justice. This is a much heavier thing than like the law is on your side or the law is not on your side, or, it was fair. It's much heavier than that. Not heavier, more profound, I should say.
Yes.
There's this energy of, you have to give it to a higher source and let them take care of it. And it's like, let go time. It's really, I always get with that, let go. It's like, let go time.
It's the yin and
I showed
yang.
up, I did my best effort. I presented my case, emotionally and maybe, with paper. But now it's like, whatever the outcome is, whatever the outcome, it's sort of like, well, I really wanted to get that job, and then I didn't get that job, and it's not fair, and justice. And then, 6 months later, it's like the place went out of business. Or 6 months later, it's sort of like, well, the one who got the job was actually working with the other thief and they got caught, and that would have been put on me. It's a little, it's very weird.
It can totally be a stepping stone card.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this darkness is happening, but there's light coming.
Yeah.
At the end, similar to what.
And it's also interesting. I just saw this. So yeah, I think it's the first card that purple shows up. I think it's the first card that purple shows. Well, no, the Hermit is kind of purple, but these are opposites. Yellow and purple, and then red and green. They're opposites. Gotcha. So it's almost this energy of the yin yang forming.
That's what I said earlier. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that's the energy of it.
And you have to have the dark to have the light, vice versa.
And understanding both, really kind of understanding both. But the difference in this one is that, because she really relates a lot of ways to the High Priestess, right? She's sitting between pillars. It's a female. And, her hands are full.
Yes.
Whereas this one, even though it's between the pillars, his hands are not full, his hands are up for her. And then the High Priestess, but the High Priestess is more of a spiritual energy. It's more of a hidden energy. It's more of a dream energy. It's more of, I'm going to create out of the chaos. There's a creation energy to that. But like justice is really like, yes, there's that divine element, but there's also, it's about the here and now.
Yes. And sometimes when I look at the justice card, I've had readings that I've done for people where that's come up, and it almost feels like I'm here for you. It feels like she's sitting so firmly, right? And it's like, okay, this might be happening and this might be happening, but it's gonna work out for you. It is I get sometimes. That is what I'm getting. But gosh, I'm thinking of all of it. I love that you are doing this series, because
I really love doing this series. I find
it makes you dig deep. It really makes you think a lot about.
The lucky thing is that I get to be the host, so I get to hear what everyone has to say.
Right.
People are watching, they're like, oh, I already understand that card, I'm not going to watch that one. Or I don't like that reader, I'm not going to watch that card. But with me, it's like I get to.
That's hilarious. I just love this. Yeah, it really does make you think. I love, which is funny because, not many people hear me try to speak so deeply all the time because I do have a tendency on my channel to get kind of silly. So, but no, this is nice. So, and
I kind of go both ways. Sometimes, sometimes the things that I say, I mean, in terms of cards.
yeah,
um, yeah,
that's
it's
a whole other
interesting.
video.
And, the Libra time of year also is a really interesting time of year. It's
Mhm.
like the balance of, the abundance and the beginning of the disintegration. Like that's what Libra time is, right? The last harvests.
Very autumny, very
Scorpio's
fall.
coming, right?
Mhm,
It's like Scorpio's coming. It's like, oh,
mhm,
something new is happening.
mhm.
Things are going, underground. Things are, like there's no more fruit left, and it's a very interesting time of year. That's to me that's that
It's
and the
like entering hibernation.
right, right. So it's like, well, we better get things in order
Mhm.
before we hibernate, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then so now we know where it all stands, and there's a real rootedness. There's a real
Yeah.
rootedness to the card.
Yeah.
Also because she's wearing red, and I'm looking for, because in a way her counterpart really is the Emperor.
Oh,
That's the way I see it right
I
at this
thought of
moment.
that.
Yeah, because he's Mars,
Venus and Mars. Yes.
right? He's Mars,
I get that. Yeah.
right? And Aries and Libra are opposites. And I always understand the opposites as a whole, always, always. So if there's a lot of planets affecting Sagittarius, that means Gemini is on the mix. Gemini is definitely in the mix. And
Gotcha.
our opposites, we can actually draw on our part of the hidden understanding of oneself, right?
Mhm.
Is to really draw on your opposite. So, Libra wants everything calm and, balanced
Oh,
and
for sure.
beautiful. But then you can also draw on that Aries. It's like, I want it now.
There's another Libra thing. People have a tendency to think that Libras, um, oh, people have a tendency to think that Libras are always seeking balance.
Yeah.
But actually, sometimes Libras like the imbalance a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because part of the intention is to get that balance going.
Right.
We tend to put ourselves in situations sometimes where there's that imbalance.
To be the peacekeeper, to be
Yeah.
the diplomat, to see both sides. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And to have that energy, but to also be able to access that Mars energy of, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to go get, and nothing's going to stop me, and I'm really enthusiastic. That makes like a whole person in a way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah, because they're both wearing red,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Really interesting.
That I like that you've just like, yeah, I'm really going to think about this one. Yeah, I never even thought of that. That those would be a pairing, but that makes sense.
It's a Venus.
It really does.
Because I mean,
it just makes sense.
the Hierophant's really interesting also because that's also a card of Venus. But the Hierophant, I don't know. The Hierophant has this energy. See, both of these are very earthbound.
Mm-hmm.
But the Hierophant is really on a different realm. The Hierophant is like communicating with God constantly.
Sure.
And then bringing it down. But these are both more like, this is what's
very
happening
centered
here, the physical world, and also they have that cardinal energy of let's begin, let's
right.
Right, start it up.
So may I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite card?
I think death is my favorite card.
Is death your favorite card? Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
So, there are, I relate, and as I work with the cards, they change and they morph. I mean, there are a lot of really, really wonderful cards. The sun is a wonderful card, but the sun is like everybody's favorite. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
you know, like my favorite color is green. You know what I mean? So like everyone's like, oh, my favorite color is blue. My favorite color is red. And it's like, my favorite color is green.
Hmm.
So because for me, you know why I think that the death card, I mean, aside from the fact that I'm a Scorpio, first of all, the death card is really, really rich in iconography, really rich. There's so many meanings. There's so much going on in the card.
Oh, for sure.
And the other thing is that whenever you watch those stupid movies, they pull that card out and then that ominous music.
Oh yeah, that's just the pivotal moment of just
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, as a Scorpio, I know that you can die spiritually and be reborn because it's happened to me 1,000 times. And for me, it has to be like a total and complete and utter death.
It's rebirth.
You have to have like a
gift. It's all
chopped
kinds.
off in order for me to like say, okay, how am I going to get to where I need to go with just using one arm?
You're right.
Because the new one is going to grow back.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that. So I think death is my favorite card. I know that sounds.
I love that.
I think death is my favorite card. But I mean, it's interesting because as I work with them more and more, I mean, look at the card. There's so much going on.
Oh, absolutely.
This one is dead. This one alive. There's kids. There's the the 5. This is the quintessence. So that's the quintessence is the understanding and alchemy of the 5 elements. So the 5 elements are earth, wind, air, fire, and then the ether, which sort of brings the whole thing together. It exists in all.
Nice.
It's sort of like the secret, right? Really interesting. So I think death is my favorite card.
I love that. And thank you for answering my question.
Do you have a favorite card?
You know, it's changed a little bit. I used to say Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
But I like different cards for different reasons now.
Yep.
So I don't really have a second go-to, but I used to always say Wheel of Fortune was mine. But it just could just depend on my mood at the time.
Yeah. And I find that for myself, and so this is for people who are learning how to read tarot. So you get a book, don't get crazy. Get one book, get 2 books. Oh, well, this one said, and this one said.
Mm.
At the end of the day, it's really about your own interpretation of what it means.
Yes.
It's really about, so with this one, it's like you can really concentrate on the balance.
Yes.
You could really concentrate on the illumination. You can really concentrate on divine feminine power. You can really concentrate on the columns, right? What's behind that curtain?
It could be anything.
Behind that curtain?
It could be anything.
Why is she holding a sword? How come she's not blindfolded? There's a million trillion things going on in the card. And it's like, as you read, it'll become clearer and clearer. And you're going to get, it's the same thing as like, I'm a really good cook. I'm a really good cook because I threw away a lot of food. I'm a really good cook because it's like, as I practiced and practiced and practiced, I get better and better. And then, you get comfortable with the recipe. It's like, there's no reason I can't put onion in this.
Right.
Or
you don't need the recipe at that point. It's
exactly.
like, I'm just going to make it the way I want to make it. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So as Lisa knows, I've had some issues with El Zumaruni.
Yes.
And I could get into it, but that wouldn't be very balanced.
Hence the card.
Like a giant gavel coming down on a corporation. And I have a list of corporations I'd like to take a giant gavel and destroy forever and ever.
Oh, Jeffrey.
So that being said, what else?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome.
I've had a great time with you.
Me too. Me too. And thank you all for joining us. And we hope that you got an understanding or a new light shown on, on this particular card. And the plan is to go through the entire deck. And so I have like, I don't know, about 70 more weeks or something like that. 65 more weeks to go. 67 more weeks to go. And thank you for joining me.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
And please subscribe to Spirit Intuitive Tarot. And I'm going to be a guest on Spirit Intuitive Tarot. And what's the name of the thing?
Can you sing it?
On Friday.
We do not really sing. It is not that serious. Oh, wait. Oh, bring it, girl. Yes, make it happen. I'm looking forward to it. Yes. Can you sing it?
I love to watch.
It's kind of a secret, but not really.
You know what? When I get really like, because I watch really heavy stuff on YouTube, to tell you the truth, I watch really heavy stuff, really deep occult, meanings, really ancient history and all sorts of. That's what I really.
Right.
And I watch also like nature documentaries. But
Okay.
when I get really bored, I just want to be in a good mood. I watch all those singing shows.
Love that.
I love them. I love them because it's like people bring joy, and
Yes.
they have a even if they don't win, it's like they get a chance to sing and to like expand themselves.
Yes.
And that's what I watch.
Well, I'm looking forward to having you on because I think it's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, and of course, if I don't know any of the songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, you'll understand because I'm so young.
You are. You're precious. You're a precious angel. It's like,
yeah. So,
adding the eyelashes and everything. I saw
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
I wish men started wearing eyelashes. I would wear the longest ones you'd ever seen in your life.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know how people do that. Could you really do that? That just seems like that'd just be. See, I've got allergies. I rub my eyes too much. I don't think I could ever do fake lashes. I would be rubbing my eyes. The eyelash would be up here, down here. You're like, oh no, I've got
the bottom stuff. It would even get the bottom stuff. Anyway, that being said, thank you all for joining us. Blessings. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. Do you have membership on your channel as well?
No, okay. I don't.
And become a member of my channel.
Okay.
And also, lately I'm a regular guest with Scott Allen with Nancy Jean on Spirit Intuitive Tarot.
Yes.
Yes, and we do it political. I'm not going to say another word. And that's that.
That's that.
That's that. All right. Blessings. Okay, I'm going to press the button and then we can continue to chit chat, but we're going to have
okay. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Okay, let me find share screen, whiteboard. Oh my God, how do you do that?
Oh no.
Oh my God.
But
okay, I don't know how to do this.
Oh no.
Yeah, because it's a new thing.
Yeah. It says you get 5 minutes left on the meeting.
I know. Well, you know what? I'm going to say goodbye to you, and then I'm going to send you another Zoom. We'll talk separately.
No problem.
Because I don't know how to.
Oh well, you know what? I'm going to have to go though. I think. Or no, we can actually we can talk for about 10 minutes if you want.
Okay, I'll see you in 10. Bye, everyone.